Hi everybody, this is Sarah from the Jacksonville Public Library, and today I'm going to be talking about Rocket Languages, which is a database that the library subscribes to and that you have access to with your library card. So to access Rocket Languages, the first thing that you'll do is go to jaxpl.org, and on the right-hand side, you'll click on Online Resources and Databases. I should also mention that Rocket Languages does have an app if that's an easier way for you to access it. You would go to the App Store on your device and just type in Rocket Languages, and it will prompt you to log in with your library card. Okay, so on the list of resources, you'll scroll down to Rocket Languages here. And the first thing you'll see if you haven't already created an account is just a screen that tells you to log in with your library card. It asks you for your email address and a few other things. And once you log in and create an account, you'll see this screen that asks you what course you'd like to take. So obviously there are quite a few to choose from. I think it's really neat that it has a sign language learning class because obviously we have the School for the Deaf in Jacksonville and a large community of deaf people, so I think that this is a great tool that you can access for free to be able to speak some sign language. But for today, I'm going to just click on Spanish here because I have these dreams of brushing up Spanish. Like a lot of people, I took Spanish in high school and 4 years in college. And to be honest with you, I still I cannot speak it. I can listen to it and, pick up some different phrases and words and things like that. But as far as actually, communicating, which is the point, I just don't do well. So this is what I'm going to focus on. So, I'm going to go ahead and show you what a lesson is going to look like. If you haven't already learned, I'll show you something else later that kind of does a benchmark of where you are with the language so you can start at a later lesson, kind of like a placement test in college or school if you've ever taken one of those. But I'm just going to start here at the beginning so you can see what that looks like, and I can point out a nifty tools here. Okay, so one thing that I find very helpful is you can download the lesson as a PDF, so it'll just print out or download to your computer the text of the lesson so you can go back and look at that. But you can also download the audio of the lesson, or you can just play it in the browser or in the app if that's what you're using. And again, I think that's really helpful in case you're in a situation where you don't have internet or just you want to go back to it later without having to go back to the website and everything. It'll just be on your device. So as you can see, it also has this voice recognition. So you'll need a microphone if you're using a computer or the microphone on your phone. But it'll tell you if you're pronouncing the words correctly, which I think is pretty neat. There's some conversation practice, listening to other people's conversations, and vocabulary. And this is just a typical lesson, so most of them will be similar to this. But after you finish the lesson, there are all these different activities just to make sure that you picked up what you were reading and listening to. So there are these flashcards. Hear it, say it. You can listen to the audio and also record yourself writing it and then knowing it, and then there's a quiz. So there's a lot of different activities to do after you've listened and read through this, which again I think is really helpful because it's just reinforcing what you've learned instead of just going right on to the next lesson. And it breaks it down into the interactive audio lessons and these language and culture lessons. I just showed you an audio lesson, but these would be very helpful, especially if you are traveling somewhere, so that you can have, more of a background in the culture as well. It also tracks your progress here. So I think it's kind of funny, actually. I'll show you in a second with this leaderboard. But basically, it's just kind of giving you a goal to kind of work on this every day, just a little bit, so that you are just continuously learning your new language. But here's the leaderboard that I mentioned. Okay, so it tracks your progress here, like I said. But then there's also, I feel like these people are competing with each other for, doing the most learning in a day. You don't have to do that. I think it's just important for you to focus on yourself and your progress. 28,000 points. I can't even imagine how much he's doing in one day. That's a lot. Okay, and then this benchmark is really neat as well. So if you're like me and you, maybe took Spanish in high school or college and you think, hey, I should be taking more advanced lessons and starting from the very beginning, you can do this benchmark test and it'll kind of like a placement test put you in the level that you should be, which will save you time, especially if you do know some of the language. There's also this forum here, and this just is a place where other people who are learning the language can ask questions, make comments. You can also, I believe, talk to the tutors here, and they can answer some of your questions as well. You can also give them some suggestions for how to improve. There's a blog. There's all sorts of ways to kind of connect to the different people who are learning the language as well. And you can also start a forum question or like a comment, area or whatever here as well, if you have something new to add to the forum. You can also add notes through the lessons. Let's say you have a mnemonic device that helps you remember, different vocabulary or just different things to help you remember what you're going through as you're going through each lesson. You can add notes and then go back to those notes here. Or you could just use an old school paper and pen, and I imagine that would work as well. And then here is where you can save vocabulary words as well. Let's say you're like me and sometimes I look at something and I just know I'm not going to remember it. You can save that word and you can come back here and go through it again. Okay, and then there's my advanced learning. So this just adds even more to the other lessons that you would be taking. So these are just kind of advanced learning techniques that kind of have more to do with just learning a language in general rather than having to do with just learning Spanish. So, which I think is also very helpful because there's a lot of similarities between learning different languages. Even if they're completely different languages, you're activating parts of your brain that you wouldn't normally be activating, and there are different things going on there no matter what language you're learning. So this kind of goes over some of those different aspects. And then my flashcards, you can create your own flashcards. if that's, something that you want to do. Like, again, if there are a bunch of words that you're having trouble remembering that are different from like just the standard flashcards that they offer you, you can just make your own here, create a custom set. Then there are also public flashcards, that maybe other people who are learning the languages created that might be helpful as well for you. Okay, so that's everything that's under my tools here. And I think I'll just talk about one more thing. If you go to your profile, you can change the email in your account if that is something you'd like to do. You can change your username on the forum, so if you do ever post, it'll be whatever name you want it to be. Make sure you click save at the end of that. You can also change your password. This was the thing I really wanted to mention. If you forget your password at some point or just want to, change it to something else, here's where you would go to change your password. I guess if you forgot your password, you wouldn't be logged in, so you wouldn't be able to change it, but there's a forgot your password place if you do ever forget it. Or you can just stay logged in. I think there's a check mark box for that as well. So you can also have a profile picture. Again, if you post it on the forums, that's what they would see. That's what your tutor will see as well. And you can also choose if you want an email when someone comments on your forum topic. Okay, that is about it for everything having to do with Rocket Languages. If you ever have any questions about this or any other resources that the library has, please, give us a call at 243-5435, or you can send me an email at ssnyder@jaxpl.org, and I will reply to your question, or we can set up a technology appointment to talk about this or anything else you're having trouble with. So yeah, I hope you have a great night. Bye-bye.